Yeah!
Woo, woo, woo!
Get excited, everybody.
Fight!
You see the countdown right on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Just under 45 minutes away from the International Fight Week extravaganza for the UFC 303. There you see the absolutely maniacal headliners, Alex Pereira and Jiri Prochazka. That might be the best thumbnail image of two fighters competing in a main event that maybe I've ever seen. But welcome, everybody. It's the People's Pre-Fight Show. We're getting you ready for UFC 303. I am Mike Heck here in Atlanta, Georgia. What an adventure it was to get here, but we have arrived. Watch party coming up at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself, GC. We're going to be at Jed Meshu's house, which is going to be pretty fun. But joining me right now to answer your questions and more, the baddest stash in MMA, the chair-swinging fool himself, none other than Casey Leydon. Let's see how many chair swings this one's getting.
Let's keep through. Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Let's go! Yeah!
I assume I don't know the answer to this, but I assume the iconic voice is not home.
No.
Is she traveling? Okay.
Yeah,
there you go. This is
she's working the X Games this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, she's been at the X Games, yeah.
Wow, what a chair swing that was. It might have been the greatest ever. This is not the UFC 301 chair swing, that's for sure.
I hit every piece of furniture in the room.
I thought things fell off the wall. Man, that doesn't get you fired up. I don't know what will. So, look, if you're familiar with what we do here before these cards begin, you already know what's up. Leave your questions in the chat. If you're new and you're like, what are these two dudes doing? Why is that guy knocking stuff off of his wall? It is the People's Pre-Fight Show for a reason, which means we're going to answer your questions. So leave them in there. Let's get after it. Of course, the super chatters get to cut the line, the VIPs, so to speak. And then, then fights are going to happen, and it should be fun. So let's go. What are people talking about, Casey?
All right, let's see what we got. First, we got a super chat already.
Excellent.
Here we go.
Last stand. Who on the prelim card has the most to lose with a loss? Interesting. Who do you think that is, Casey?
So prelim being anything not in the main card?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's a few in my mind.
I kind of want to go Joe Pyfer in the sense that all the hype will be gone. I was like, and I gotta say, I wasn't into the Joe Pyfer hype, but I was like, hey man, but he hits hard. So I was like, okay. And then, he took that. Who did he lose against? Was Jagger Manson? Is that who he lost against? So, he had a big jump in competition, but this should be seems to be a very winnable fight. And this will kind of decide, I guess, maybe to me, if Joe Pyfer is, a legit, top 10 middleweight, or is he a middleweight, basically. And I think he is. I think he is a top 15, top 10 middleweight, but that's why I feel like he has a lot to lose tonight. If he loses, obviously.
I think he's probably the right answer. Obviously Peyton Talbot, but even if he loses, I think it'll be a prisoner of the moment type thing where it's like this dude is a minus 1,700 favorite and he just lost to a guy who got finished in his last fight. So I think short term it'll be bad, but I think he's so young and so green in this sport, and he's such an interesting dude that a loss wouldn't kill him. It would be very surprising. Ricky Simone is probably in this conversation as well. Had that incredible performance against Jack Shore like a year ago today. And then, look, he lost to two really good guys. He lost to Song Yadong in a main event, and he lost to Mario Batista, who has been on a roll right now. So Vinicius Salvador is a fun-ass fighter. He's on a nice little run, coming off of a pretty nasty knockout in his most recent fight. But I think if Ricky loses to Vinicius Salvador, and I know he's a very live dog. Vinicius Oliveira, excuse me. I don't know why I'm getting confused with Vinicius Salvador, Vinicius Oliveira. But be a tough loss. be a tough loss. We'll kind of know where Ricky Simone is at this point in his career. Ricky's still really good, still very athletic, still pushes a really hard pace, but he's been doing this for a little while. So his father time caught up to him. But I think Pfeiffer is the right answer, though. I think if he loses to Marc-Andre Barrios, not a bad fighter, but tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, in the sense, like he's not fighting for his job tonight or anything. Like, he won't get released if he loses tonight. But I think kind of how the UFC sees him and how maybe as we see him, but like, do you see Joe Pfeiffer right now, even before this fight? Where do you kind of see his potential?
It's so hard with him, man. Like, I definitely feel like he's got like top 10 ability. There's no doubt about it. I think the Hermansson fight, I think we learned a lot about Joe in that fight. Like, he won the first 2 rounds. He got pretty tired. Jack just kind of pieced him up, but he kept fighting through it.
Yeah, it's 5 rounds.
To the best of his ability. He survived some really tough spots. Maybe a top 10 guy. I don't know. I think we'll get more answers tonight because he said at his media day on Wednesday that he was really sick throughout training camp getting ready for a 5-round fight. He basically missed almost 3 entire weeks of training and then had like a week and a half basically of work and then had to cut weight and go fight Jack Hermansson for 5 rounds. Wins the first 2 rounds and then loses the last 3. So it's not a bad loss. Like, Jack Hermansson's very solid hand. Yeah. Like, he does this to a lot of people in this division. So, but I think Pfeiffer might be the road back is going to be a lot longer. This is a division that, at least right now, you can't fall back too far because the climb out's tough.
Joe Pfeiffer he's only 27 too, so a loss doesn't kill him. But if we're ranking who has most to lose on the prelims, then
I think it's Pfeiffer as well.
All right, thank you much. Ooh, a lot of super chats. Okay.
LFC DJ Pereira should get a BMF belt with a win, a baddest magical fighter belt with the tooth of a jaguar and lined with shark cartilage like his necklace. I love this idea. I don't think the UFC will provide it for him, but his team should absolutely take your advice and build something like that.
Yeah. What about Jiri doesn't get a belt with a win? Come on, man. What would
Yuri's belt is just a belt. Like, there's nothing fancy, nothing magical to it. It's just a belt. Like, he likes just a good, clean belt. Just like a good, clean fight.
Ooh, okay.
Dave, talk about poor James Vick. Damn, and that beautiful switch kick. And President Awesome choking that dude out. Please and thank you very much. Country bless. Dude, James Vick. That was scary. That was a scary knockout that was Rafael Alves, right?
I'm not even sure who the opponent was, honestly.
Yeah. Dude, that was frightening. A frightening knockout.
I only saw the highlight. I didn't actually watch his fight. Was it competitive? Do you have any idea to that point? Or was it even what time? Huh?
No idea. I woke up and saw the clip and I was like, oh my God, he killed James Vick.
Yeah.
But I guess he's okay, so that's good. And what'd you think about President Awesome choking a dude out?
I read that. I didn't see it. I thought the event was over after Ben Davis won his fight. I thought that was the main event. So. Hey, man. Ben's doing it, man. I'm proud of him, man. He's doing it. He's getting out there and doing it.
That was fun. He just kept just kept kicking him, hitting him to the body. Dude kept trying to hit him back, and Ben just kept doing the same stuff. It was great.
They were so tired. Dude, I love sloppy, tired fighters, and because they both know they just kept throwing sloppy, like, but tired, but that's nothing bad. It's just like, but they just kept going. I really admire that. Like, because you have a crowd in front of you, the lights, you know how tired you are. You know everyone's kind of making fun of you, but you're still out there doing it. And so, Ben, if you're seeing this, way to go. You did it.
You're the man, Ben. You're the man. Yeah. President Austin thing was wild because like fight.
What was it? Set me up the story.
I didn't see like if it was like at the end of a fight or like during a fight, but I just saw the video of like one dude just kind of getting into the pit, and then a whole group of dudes got into the pit, and it looked like it was going to be a big chaotic skirmish. And then President Awesome jumps in. He's trying to break things up. And then all of a sudden he puts the dude in a rear naked choke until the guy goes unconscious. And that's it. But President Awesome has been sort of on Instagram being like, listen, don't make the headline about, me going after a dude. Let's make the headline, chaotic scene could have gotten worse, but it ended safely. It just so happened that I happened to be a part of the chaos ending in a safer fashion. I just had to choke a guy to do it. So It was pretty wild. It was a weird night last night. A lot of weird shit happened last night.
Yeah, President Awesome, I think he's a former MMA fighter, had a decent record, I think, and now he's on the other side. But, good on him. And, good. Yeah, Karate Combat. Good night for them, I guess.
It was a good night for Karate Combat. A lot of people talking about them. Steven, boys, James Vick, that was brutal. Yeah, it was real bad. Real bad.
Yeah, people think once you leave the UFC, you get I don't know, you're a target when you leave the UFC. Now that you're like, oh, that guy.
But the dude he fought was also used to also be in the UFC.
He was? Oh, okay.
Rafael Alves, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Rafael Alves.
You want to look it up?
Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure it was Rafael Alves.
Well, James Vick had a better run. How about that in the UFC than his opponent? Correct.
Yeah. So it was Rafael Alves. He's the guy who I think he has the record for the biggest weight miss in UFC history. Let me just double check this. I want to make sure I have my facts straight, but I'm pretty sure. Yes, he was supposed to fight at featherweight against Pat Sabatini. He weighed in at 157 and a half, 11 and a half pounds over. And obviously the fight didn't happen. So, but good for Rafael finding a home.
Good for him. In his proper weight class and fighting in pants. So cool.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Another super chat.
Fahim, who's next for Pantoja that will surprise everyone? I don't know if there's anyone that would really surprise me. If it's Asakura, it wouldn't surprise me.
Man, a title shot for someone that's...
If it's Taira, that might surprise me a little bit.
Asakura was surprising just because he's never fought in the UFC. I mean, so I don't recall when was the last time the UFC gave a title shot to someone that's he might deserve a title shot, but still he has never fought in the UFC, so just no one knows him over here. So I want mine. When's the timing? When's Pantoja fighting? When are we thinking? Is there a date? So
I guess after the Vinny Siggs fight, he said he was going to wait till December, but I guess at the Hall of Fame or something, he said he may UFC kind of wants him to fight sooner and he's into it. But I'm just trying to feel who is available. It's Taira or Asakura right now, right? Because Cap and Makhaev are fighting at 304, and looks like Kai Kara-France and Vinny Siggs are fighting in Perth. It's either Taira or Asakura right now if it's going to happen before the fall, right? Those are the two available guys.
I would imagine that would be kind of like the co-main on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they put it on Perth. Maybe that's the Perth co-main event or something. Yep. Weird place to put it, but could be.
I thought Kai fought at 135. Is he coming down to 25?
He's fighting at flyweight.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
He's fought both, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing whoever Pantoja fights next.
John Jones will be my answer. If he fights John Jones, that will be surprising.
All right. John's scared.
AG45. What do you make of Jamahal Hill still calling out Alex? I find it weird. Also, what do you think of Ortega going to lightweight? It is a gutsy move. Well, I mean, the second question has many layers, but I think you guys talked about this a little bit on the preview show.
I like Ortega. Oh,
yeah. So what about Jamahal Hill? Jamahal Hill. Did you watch this video? I know we were talking about it in the Slack channel. It's tough.
I didn't want to watch it. I was just gonna take your cliff notes of it.
It's tough. He basically spends 30 minutes breaking down Demetrius Johnson's breakdown of his 3-minute fight. and he's trying to call into question the knowledge of Demetrius Johnson. And then he calls out Alex and says if he loses, he's screwed because he's gonna have to fight Jamahal Hill. Which, let's be honest, if Alex loses, he's just gonna fight Jiri again. And if he wins, he's gonna see him sometime. It's just gonna be a long time before that happens. Yeah, Jamahal, man, I don't know what he's doing. It's been a tough, like ever since he got hurt, his decision making has been pretty awful when it comes to things he says in public and on his YouTube channel. Like, it's real bad, man. Even just like commenting on our rankings, it's tough, man. It's just a tough look for the guy. And I like Jamahal Hill. Like, I like him. Nice guy. I've met him a few times in person. Really nice dude. Interviewed him a few times. It's just tough. It's just really strange, this behavior right now. And especially 2 months later. Like, none of this was coming out after the fight. This is 2.5 months later.
The timing is weird. I don't know. That's, Jamahal Hill. Cool. Yeah, do your thing. Yeah. We're talking about you, I guess, so.
Yeah, but not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Not all press is good press. Just ask Joaquin Buckley. He's kind of in the same boat. But let's go to Brian Ortega. Said heading into this fight, he was looking at a lightweight move, was eyeing the sphere, said an opponent was offered to him, and he accepted until this opportunity with Diego Lopez comes to be. But then he's fighting at lightweight tonight because he couldn't make the weight. And Ariel reported this, I confirmed this as well, that Diego Lopez's team got a call at 3:30 a.m. Friday morning Vegas time and said, look, man, he's not going to be able to make weight. He's got a long way to go. Diego Lopez, from what I was told, was like 146.5. So basically he just had to like wake up and he would have been fine and on weight. So they had to wake Diego Lopez up at like 4 a.m. and basically they had to tell him, like, you got to rehydrate, man. Like, this fight's going to be a lightweight fight. I guess they offered a fight at 150 and Ortega's team was like, no. So it was either 155 or the fight doesn't happen. So now we're getting at 155. I asked Diego's team if there was a sort of a penalty, anything they could share. What I was told was, all I can say is Diego's going to be making more money. I don't know if it's a penalty from Ortega or the UFC is, incentivizing him a little bit more to take the fight at 55. Either way, he's getting paid a little bit more. Not a good look for Brian Ortega, but your thoughts on Ortega, everything that happened over the last 36 hours or so, and then him just moving to lightweight in general.
It's just kind of funny. We've had the same story back-to-back weeks. Last week it was D-Rod and Kelvin. Let's move it up a whole weight class. I mean, this is a little different. The whole time this fight should have been at 55 because of the short notice factor of it. I don't understand why it was at 45, honestly. Especially a guy like Ortega, he's never had an easy time making 45 or 46. So this wasn't a shocker. I assumed he was going to miss weight, but I thought maybe by a couple pounds. Just making it at lightweight. I guess the big issue is just, dude, don't let your opponent, don't have some, I don't know what's the right word, martial arts decency, and just tell your opponent many days before that you're not going to make close to making weight, and let's just make this at 55 right when you get to Vegas. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the issue. I'm kind of, because I know these guys have to, when they get to Vegas, they have to weigh in like almost every day with the UFC production staff or whatever, so they kind of keep track. So I'm kind of surprised Diego Lopez's camp didn't know that he was gonna miss weight. But it's not a good look on Ortega. It kind of sucks, and this fight, especially if Ortega wins, doesn't really mean anything. That's the problem. This fight was super exciting. Now, Ortega's a lightweight now. I'm assuming he's just going to be a lightweight now. And so this fight, really, there's only one side that really has anything to really gain. Well, gain from it would be being Diego. So bad look on Ortega. But I do like the fact that Ortega's moving the lightweight. I think overall that's been a successful kind of venture. I think Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, Renato Moicano. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone else too. But guys who, they were good featherweights, and I think Ortega will be fine at lightweight. So he can concentrate on moving his head more and not dieting maybe as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just a bad look as a fighter, how you treat other fighters to do that to your opponent. But it costs him money
Yeah.
too. I'm assuming it costs at least 30% of his show money. But I always hated that rule too, because if Ortega wins, you don't get penalized on your win bonus. So
Well, I mean, we don't know that for sure. There have been circumstances where, like, when they go back and talk and try to negotiate these big weight misses, that it is a part of it. I want to say the Mitch Raposo fight against Andre Lima, because he made weight on like a week's notice taking that fight at 302. I want to say that Mitch at least said that he was getting a piece of Lima's show and win in order for that fight to move forward, because he missed weight by a whole bunch. It wasn't like he missed weight by a pound. I think he missed weight by like 4 pounds for that fight. So, yeah, I know the D-Rod one. We don't know for 100% sure, but D-Rod said he got 30% of Kelvin's purse, which is probably a pretty high purse.
nice.
And if he's getting 30% of Brian Ortega's purse, Diego Lopez, that is, it's not a bad chunk of change either, but we don't really know. And you want to talk about earlier on, we had which prelim fighter has the most to lose. On the main card, Diego Lopez has a ton to gain here, man. He will look like a friggin' rock star if he goes out there and beats Brian Ortega after everything that happened today, because you know how MMA fans are. I've seen it all over Instagram, kind of turning on Ortega a little bit. And Diego Lopez does the thing tonight. He's going to come off looking like a friggin' rock. He's in for a massive fight next. Massive fight.
We haven't got this question, but does he, I mean, outside of the main event, does he have the most to gain tonight if a big win?
No. Well,
Anthony Smith could get a title shot.
yeah, he's probably the answer. But he needs Pereira to win. And
Yeah,
but
that's dependent on other things. But I'm talking just straight up his fight there alone. I feel like Diego has could gain the most from a victory tonight.
He's up there. He's in the discussion. I think MVP's probably up there for sure. I think Gary's up there too. I think it's like a 3-horse race. You could throw Smith in there for the UFC weirdness.
Yeah,
and
that's more
Pereira
dependent
wins.
on other things. But I understand. Yeah, the Smith.
But
thing.
from a meritocratic standpoint and where they are from like point A to where they could be point B with a great performance tonight, I think Gary, MVP, and Diego are like right there. And Anthony Smith's just kind of on an island doing his own thing. So I don't know, but it's probably one of those 3 guys.
I'm loving this Diego Lopez story. Guy came in late notice. For all we know, wasn't really on the UFC's radar. Just this kind of guy fighting in Brazil, coaching in Mexico, and all of a sudden, with a big win tonight, he is in the mix.
He's in a number 1 contender fight. Yeah. He might fight like Volkanovski if he wins this fight.
Who knows? Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I love it. I like it. All right. Thank you much.
Gustavo, moment of silence for James Vick. Man, a lot of James Vick super chats today.
Dude, there was like I'm pretty confident no one even knew James Vick was fighting last night until they saw the highlight. Because I
knew he was fighting. I
don't recall. I didn't see one question about anything. It wasn't no chatter about it. You know, you might have saw it like a couple weeks ago. Oh, James Vick, but then you just kind of forget about it, and then, man, tough night. Super chat from Chris Leclerc.
Is MVP with the win a top 5 contender?
Yes,
certainly. MVP's getting there is a world where MVP could get a title shot with the win tonight. There is a world. It's not a fair world, but there is a world where this could happen. Let's just say Leon Edwards beats Bilal Muhammad, and the UFC is like, we're going to London in January for the first pay-per-view of the year or something. Leon Edwards versus MVP in London is a way bigger fight than Leon Edwards versus Shavkat Rakhmonov in London. It's gigantic over there. And I think Ian Gary would also be a bigger fight than Shavkat. Shavkat, unfortunately, it's just a weird time. So, but worst case scenario, MVP with the win is getting a number 1 contender fight. He either is going to fight Shavkat or he's going to fight somebody else. And if he wins, he's getting a title shot. Dude's 36. Like, he's got to move now. Now is the time. If you're going to do something with this guy, like, you have to do it now. If he goes out there and beats Ian Gary, now's the time to do it. So I think on the main card, he might have the most to lose out of anybody on this main card.
In that sense, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. If he loses, I'm not saying he's done. Like, he's never going to be in like big fights, but he's not fighting for the belt if he loses tonight. I don't think.
In terms of fighting for the title. Okay. Yeah. Man, if MVP wins tonight, anyway, if he just gets that W, are there still going to be MVP haters? We know they're out there.
We work with some. We work with some. Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Gary's overrated. If MVP
we're gonna get a whole bunch of that. But I don't know. I think if MVP was fighting anybody else, maybe. But him beating Ian Gary might give him a huge babyface turn. Yeah, people don't like Ian. They just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I don't know. Just
it's a win-win fight for the UFC.
Oh yeah. I'm so interested in that fight just because the trajectories that their careers can go after that fight, and the way the fans, the media, the UFC looks at them from that fight. Because if it's an exciting fight, because that fight could be freaking crazy awesome, but it could be just which is fine. I mean, they're super high skilled fighters. Sometimes very high skilled fighters just have those fights, But we'll see.
What would be the biggest thing that can happen in that fight? Like, I'm not even talking about like most surprising outcome, but like, what would be the outcome where you're just like, holy shit, like, give him a title shot or something like that? Is it a finish from either guy? Like, would a finish for one be more impactful in your eyes than the other guy getting one?
I think a big finish from MVP would do more. I just think a big finish from MVP with his age and everything. Because I don't think there's a rush for Gary from the UFC, but with MVP, you kind of have to capitalize now with his age, with Leon being, European, a British champ. So you're right there. So I think MVP, if he can do some sort of first round knockout, some sort of anything even close to what he did to poor Cyborg.
God, yeah.
And if MVP gets the big win, he will do the thing on the mic. You just know that.
I hope so. He didn't do it last time, but we'll see if he does it this time.
He had a good decision victory, and I think he got the fight. He got the proper fight after that. So but I think if he does it right,
the way I envision this fight, like, if I see a finish coming, I think it's coming from MVP, because it's really tough to beat that dude in a striking battle. Like, really, really difficult. No one's really been able to do it. Even when Lima knocked him out, it was just kind of a crazy, chaotic sequence in a fight that MVP was looking damn good in before he got melted by Lima. So it's very tough to beat him in a striking battle. So to me, if Ian Gary goes out and knocks out MVP, I'll be like, whoa. That will be like, okay, dude. All right. Can't hate on that. That would be super impressive. Yeah. I think Gary winning in general is impressive. But if he goes out and finishes MVP and he like knocks him out on the feet, that would be the most impressive thing that I think that could happen in this fight. Because I'd be a little surprised.
I'll be surprised, but also I wouldn't be surprised because I think Ian Machado Gary is very good. I think he is a legit top
he's 10
welterweight, and so I wouldn't be shocked. And MVP, You get in that cage so many times, eventually you will get got. So I think it's just a matter of time. I mean Lima got him. But yeah, you're right. It should be the
Yeah.
co-main event.
Yeah, I agree. I am picking. I get the reason why it's not. I don't know if it's like the exact reason, but I think it's for the reason you laid out. Like this could be a great fight, but there's a very real world where this is which I'm okay with. Like that's what I'm expecting, like a chess matchy battle where if MVP wins, he's going to do exactly what he did to Kevin Holland, and if Gary wins, he's going to do almost exactly what he did to Jeff Neal. Yeah. Which, you know what I mean? But really interesting fight. I love this one, and I'm picking Ian Gary. I have a bet on Ian Gary, but it's by decision. But we'll see. It's gonna be high level shit.
All right. Thank you much. Ooh, hard hitting question from Dave Sandine.
Chocolate eclair or strawberry shortcake ice cream bar? Oh, it's chocolate eclair all day.
I have recently discovered I love strawberries. I didn't know I was a strawberry guy. I had a strawberry a few months ago, and I was like, "This is amazing! I have been missing out." I just didn't know how good strawberries were. I mean, I throw them in smoothies all the time, but now I go to the grocery store, I get a little bin of strawberries. They're out of season right now, but last month or last couple months they've been in season. So I get strawberries. I put a little canned whipped cream on them. Oh, so good. So I'm gonna go, but chocolate eclair is awesome too. You can't really lose.
Good. Yeah, it's a win-win.
Ice cream. Yeah, win-win.
I eat strawberries like just about every morning.
You do?
I'll go to the gym. Oh yeah, it's like there'll be strawberries because I always get like a blend of like fruit with my breakfast. So like I'll make eggs and I'll put some fruit on there. There's always strawberries in the mix. So sometimes there's some kiwi in there. Sometimes it's blueberries and wild berries and this, a couple strawberries hanging out. But strawberries always make the menu every single morning. Yeah. Strawberry shortcake all day. It's a great choice. But if it's just like, here, Mike, pick one, I'm picking the chocolate eclair.
Just a little follow up.
There you go, Dave. We're on the same page.
See, people say we avoid the tough questions. No, give it to us. We're not scared.
It's incredible. Lazy Man, name a bout comparable to Jiri, Alex, aura for aura. Damn. That's a great question.
I was thinking I'm trying to go back to idea. I'm thinking like some Diego Sanchez match, maybe. Some Diego.
Maybe.
Who could?
This is a tremendous question.
I'm gonna think about that, but I like this. Might be the winner. This might be it. This is it. This is nothing compares.
Yeah, I got nothing, man.
Nothing compares to this. Nothing compares to this.
There'll be some people who come up with some because you guys are better at that shit than I am. But
yeah, you got me stumped, Lazy Bed. You got me stumped.
If you can think of something, go for it. Connor Aldo was kind of up there in a different way. There was like an aura to him. Anytime Brock Lesnar fought, there was like a different aura. I mean, the spiritual side of things, I don't ever really remember a fighter calling for a clean fight with another fighter due to spiritual reasons. Like this might be a first.
And saying of such a straight face and very respectfully. He was very respectable about it. So I love it. I love that. I love that unexpected storyline.
But please, Alex, please. It's very respectful, very genuine, and it's the best. Kevin, what can be done about fighters missing weight? 2 weeks in a row, they told their opponent last minute. Seems unfair. The Kelvin one was at least like they had a little bit of time, but the problem was they flew to freaking Saudi Arabia. So it's not like D-Rock could be like, nah, going home. Kelvin had held him over a barrel and he knew it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing he could do about it. You could tell by the way Kelvin talked about it that he has to fight me. He's going to have to deal with it. There's nothing he can do about it. What do we do? I mean, I've always talked about you have to take, like, not only should the percentages be where they are, you can even up them. I think a point should be taken in a fight too, like right out the gate. Like if Ortega goes out and wins first round, so it's a 9-9.
Yeah. Without affecting the actual score of the actual fight, I really think it's a promotional thing that, and they're just not going to do it, but you just release that fighter. They're like, you just release him, Now, I don't, maybe there was an injury involved. I don't know. There are other things that don't come out publicly, but just assuming from what we know, yeah, that's from Ortega's side, especially to miss weight that much and to tell your opponent that late. Basically, your opponent's already, his weight cut is done.
It's like 5.5 hours before weight.
Which is insanely rude. Yeah. Ortega's gonna have to if I would actually just appreciate the fact that Ortega goes, hey, this is a fight, this is war, this is what we do. These are the mind games. These are the my 30% that I lost was like playing chess. I sacrificed 2 pawns or something, to get better position. If you say that, then okay, then I'm like, all right, that's just you are playing within the rules and the penalties of the game. So, but I would just appreciate the honesty maybe afterwards from Ortega. So, but
I would say, look, I know most of the world, the MMA fans, the community are all rooting for Diego Lopez because of this situation. But if Brian Ortega wins, he's going to have to sit up there and answer some questions about all of this. So that's something to think about as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually picking Brian Ortega still to win this fight.
Me too.
I have it from a betting perspective, but this shit could go either way. But that kind of stinks for Ortega too, because remember at the press conference, Dana was like, "Yeah, we're gonna give this. It's either the main event or the co-main event. Those are the fight of the nights. Like it's a coin flip." And then they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna give away 2 fight of the night bonuses." So does that mean this Ortega's not eligible for the bonus, or is he? I don't know.
I would assume no. But
did he give Diego $100,000 if they beat the shit out of each other for 15 minutes?
No, I thought it was 300. No. What? No, 2 fight. What did
they wanted They wanted 303,000. Dana's like, no.
That money stays in Dana's pocket, guys.
Come on.
But he said he's gonna give out an extra bonus. Is that what he said?
He's gonna give out 2 fight of the night bonuses tonight.
Okay.
But that doesn't. But this could be a very shrewd move from Dana White, because maybe he just gives out 2 fight of the nights, but then no performance bonuses, so it all equals out. Nah, I don't think he'll do that though. Yeah, I really don't.
Nah, not Dana.
Nah, you can't look. Say what you will about Dana. The look of this card right now with the fighters that have stepped up the way that they have, I don't think Dana's going to shortchange them tonight. I think he's going to reward them for stepping up.
Man, I don't want to get in this whole soapbox again, but it should be $50,000 bonus for every finish. The UFC makes enough money. They make enough money. They do it, yeah. But all right.
Let's continue on. Mason, happy fight day, lads. With the win over Jiri and another title defense in Q3, Q4, does Poatan become a frontrunner for Fighter of the Year?
Again.
If he wins tonight, he's my frontrunner for Fighter of the Year.
I haven't thought about that yet.
If he wins tonight, he's the Fighter of the Year. Like he's the front runner, and it's gonna take a lot to beat him, man. It's gonna take a lot. Max Holloway beating Ilya Taporia if they fight.
Oh, if Max beats Ilya after, and no, obviously the Holloway fight, then I would give it to Max. But
it'd be close, man. Two save the day wins, one on like 2 weeks notice. It's gonna be tough to beat, man. But
also kind of too short notice victory. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the front. With the win tonight. If he wins tonight, he's the front runner, anyways. But if that's like the only 2 fights he has this year, will that be enough come the end of it? I don't know. Because what if Arman Sarukian beats Islam Makhachev? Like he's gonna be in that conversation too.
Yeah.
Beating Oliveira and then beating Islam and winning the belt in the toughest division in the sport. That's gonna be tough to beat.
Well, how about if Alex wins tonight, he will be fighter of the first half of this year.
Yes, 100%. He'll be the fighter of the year for the first 7 months.
Yeah. Thank you much, Mason. Super chat from Solaro Club. We kind of already answered this, but I'll just throw it in the screen
Hello,
for him.
gentlemen from Tijuana. On the Ortega case, Casey's really mad about it. Mike, what are your feelings about it? It sucked, man.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like, this all could have been avoided anyways if they just were like, again, we don't know what the negotiations were like. We don't know what the phone calls were like, all of that. But I don't think the UFC would have like cared that much if Ortega was like, yeah, man, I'll fight him, but we got to do it at 55. You know what I mean? But we don't know if he said that or not. Like,
yeah,
the
I was
UFC wouldn't have. Yeah.
I think we were all shocked it was at 45, to be honest.
Exactly.
Like,
I knew on Wednesday when I saw Ortega at media day, I said on BTL, I'm like, he's probably not going to make it. He looks terrible up there. So, yeah, the circumstances behind it, like even if they called him at like 10 o'clock the night before, like he's in the middle of his weight cut, first few pounds melted off, no problem. He's like 152, feeling good. He's on track. And then all of a sudden, like he just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Call him at like 11, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock the night before. Like that's one thing, but doing it like at 3:34 in the morning, that's different. Yeah. That's annoying.
I did forget about how bad Ortega looked on Wednesday. I kind of forgot about that, to be honest.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah. So I'm going to give Ortega the benefit of the doubt and just say his body just started rejecting the weight cut or whatever. And he tried his best, and it was just too much weight, too little time, and he's maybe just got a little over ambitious, wanted to make Dana happy. Dana hates catch weight fights for some reason, but yeah, don't like it, but we'll see. Yeah,
it's not a good look. I mean, no matter what the circumstances are, it's not a good look. Like even if the circumstances. We find out something like we'll discuss it, but it's still just all the circumstances behind it it's just tough especially for Diego to find out again. Dude already did the work. He's on weight. Dude was sleeping a half pound over. All he had to do was like literally just had to wake up and he would have been 146. He could just walk down and stepped on the scale and he made weight. And then he's just like, dude, you got to rehydrate because now you have to get from 146 and a half to 155 in the next 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Kind of throws you off a bit.
I forgot. In New York, I'm kind of going back a little bit. Remember when Kelvin was supposed to fight Donald Cerrone? And then Kelvin didn't tell the UFC he was going to miss weight. And so what happened was Donald Cerrone weighed in, I think at 170. And then Kelvin missed weight by so much that because he weighed in second, Donald didn't have a chance to rehydrate to make the weights close enough.
He couldn't reweigh. Reweigh.
No, if Kelvin would have weighed in first, then all Donald Cerrone had to do was like, okay, drink a couple of Pedialytes and then get your, drink 3 pounds of water, then it'd have been fine. But yeah, sorry, I was just thinking like Kelvin again, like, I'm kind of okay. I'm no more. Ortega shouldn't have done it.
Didn't Jim Miller have to do that? Was it was it the Cerrone fight?
Yeah, it was Cerrone. But
Cerrone missed weight. Yeah, because there's super short notice. I don't remember. It was something. It was something, and I know Jim Miller was like, "Yeah, to go eat a bunch of food just to like make sure the weight was where it needed to be, or something." Or maybe it wasn't Cerrone. I don't remember. Yeah. I think Jim Miller's involved in something similar.
All right, but it sucks. Crappy situation on a fight that was now just has a bit of an asterisk to it. If Ortega wins, but. Here we are. They're going to fight. It'll be fun.
Yep, it will be fun. Terrence, I want Jiri to lose because I want him at 85. How you see him doing in that weight class?
What?
I think Jiri has talked about moving to middleweight. Didn't he say something like after 300 that he maybe wanted to move to middleweight?
Yeah.
I think
that's 20 pounds. No,
it's 20 pounds. I think he's a maniac enough to do it, but
why?
Boy, that division, light heavyweight, is thin as hell, man. You lose a guy like Jiri, that's a cataclysmic loss to that weight class losing that guy.
I don't like that. Sorry, I don't like that at all. Jiri gets hit. I love Jiri, but he gets hit a lot, and which is fine. That's what makes him exciting.
What he
You know,
does.
he gets in there, but you know what? You need that fluid to kind of soften the blows to your brain bouncing off your skull, and there's like gonna be a lot less of it if he goes to 85. So
Yeah.
you are a wonderful light heavyweight, Jiri. Don't think
Yes.
so.
Don't change. Never
Don't
change.
change. Never change.
Because like if Alex wins and then decides to move up, like he could just fight for a belt again. Like he's in a great place at the UFC right now for taking this fight on short notice. So
Yeah. Yeah. I know Alex gets a lot of credit for saving 2 back-to-back pay-per-views, but let's give Jiri a lot of credit too. You know, this is because if he loses, because everyone's like, "Oh, Alex saved the UFC," but in the sense that he's kind of playing house money because we know if Alex loses, he gets a rematch. If Jiri loses,
and Jiri was going to get this fight later in the year.
yeah.
So he could have like plenty of time to prep for it.
You know, we're talking who has the most to lose on this card. It could be Jiri, actually, now I think about it. I mean,
maybe.
Obviously losing a title shot because it's just hard to get when you're 0-2 in title fights against someone.
But if there's any division where Jiri could get back, it's this one, even with Alex as champion, which is wild to think about.
This is true. Oh wow, we're at 3:00 already.
Any more?
Yeah, no, we have like 5 or 6 more super chats, so we're gonna
let's go.
hit these kind of hard.
Terrence, which fight will be bad or as bad as the presidential debate?
Oh, that's easy. That's Arlovsky versus Boudet.
Arlovsky Boudet.
Yeah, versus Boudet. That's so easy, man. That was the easiest question of the whole day. I love it.
Good one.
I knew that one easy.
You're a 6 handicap, Andre. You're a 6 handicap. That was the funniest shit I ever watched. Who's a better getting KO'd all-star, Vic or Walker? It's James.
Ooh, I like
it's gotta be Vic, dude.
It's gotta be Vic. Yeah. It's gotta be Vic. When Vic
loses, Walker's a first teamer, but Vic's the freaking captain, man.
Yeah. Because Walker is the kind of get or get got. Vic, you know, he wins, but when he loses big.
Real bad.
Yeah.
He loses real bad.
We're going to go Vic on that one. Congrats.
Kenny Powers. Does Ortega become the first to submit Lopez? It's possible, but I'll say no.
I'm not predicting that. Did I predict? No, I'm not predicting that. So I'm going to go no.
I will go no as well. Last stand. Dana really going to give out 2 fight of the night bonuses. That's what he said.
I can't. When he threw that, but he might not give out any performance bonuses. Oh, dang it!
I think he'll do it. Yeah. It's International Fight Week. Power Slap was on fire last night. He's in a good mood.
Have we?
Ugh.
Dude, did you see the numbers that
it's
got?
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. If Alex gets a second pair of unique shorts, will he be the first fighter to have 2 different personalized fighting shorts? I don't think he got them this time. I didn't really look into it, but I think like on Twitter I would have saw something.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone talking about it, so no clue.
I mean, if he does, then yeah, I think he will be.
I hate that that's even a talking point because I hate uniforms, and so, but yeah, here we are.
Yep.
Our good friend Achilles Jr.
What's up, guys? Let's light up tonight and enjoy the fights. Also, early Otno pick for Pfeiffer after his win. Ooh. It's a great question. I'll have to think about that one. Bruno Ferreira is fighting Roman Kopylov in August, so maybe the winner of that fight. Pretty damn fun. But I have to look into it a little bit. Chris Curtis? Somebody like that?
Will Chris Weidman be crazy?
Don't hate it. I think Joe was asked about Weidman, and he said, I want to say he said like he wouldn't fight Chris or didn't want to fight Chris because of like the respect he has for him. But I actually matched Weidman up with Shara Bullet after that last fight. So
Shara Bullet.
I don't hate the Weidman one. Shara Bullet and Pfeiffer would be pretty crazy. Sharon Bullett's in Vegas right now, so.
Well, he can be in Vegas, but he can't fight in Vegas, I think. Oh, we don't.
Apparently, according to Ali, who was like on the red carpet, I think he did some interviews as well. He said that like there's really nothing preventing him from fighting in Vegas. But I mean, Dana said opposite, so I don't really know. I don't know who to believe in this situation.
Yeah, so. I don't know. And so, all right. I'm not sure what this means, but
Mike, check what Ankalaev tweeted. Yes, I saw this. I'll pull it up real quick. An hour ago, Casey. Here's what Magomed Ankalaev tweeted. Hey, Jamahal Hill, I do have a U.S. visa. You are a bum. I actually asked Mick Maynard to fight you, but Mick had different plans for you. Do you really believe you are any good? You beat Glover, a guy ran from me and wanted to have nothing to do with me. Don't lie and be a real man. So this screams to me that Magomed Ankalaev typed not a single character of this tweet.
Yeah. Who's his manager?
We know who his manager is, and we know who typed this tweet out. But still, I admit this is a great tweet by anybody, by whoever tweeted it. This is very smart. Again, we don't know how hurt Jamahal Hill is, so if there's any ding I give to said tweet, is that you're essentially calling on an injured fighter, and I don't love that, but I do love, like, maybe they're aware that Jamal's injury is not that bad, that he could fight maybe Q4 or something. If I'm Ankalaev, like, that's exactly the fight I'm going for, because you have to have the wherewithal enough to know that you're not getting a title shot without another win. You're just not getting one. So go for Jamahal Hill. I like what he's trying to do.
I dig it.
Esther, yeah, let's keep Yuri at 205. There's already a ton of Gary. I mean, just speaking my language, iconic voice. Just speaking my language. Love that.
Okay, this is what now we're gonna get to where I wanted to talk about.
Scott, was I the only degenerate who watched PVZ compete in Power Slap? LOL, it wasn't horrible. I paid more attention to it than PFL and Invicta FC.
Wait, Scott, did you download the app and watch it on Rumble? That's what I want to know. Did you watch it live? That's one place you can watch it, right? On Rumble, whatever the app is?
I did not download the Rumble app, but I did watch it on rumble.com. I did watch it. It's as bad as I thought it was going to be. Might even been worse from like the times that I sprinkled it on. But like I said before, this shit ain't for me. If it's for you, cool. But getting Paige on there was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant move on their part. And if they can get more fighters like that, like if they can get, just throwing examples out there. If they got even like some of the BKFC gals, like if they got Britton Hart in there, like that would be good. That would be smart. If they got Pearl Gonzalez in there, like that's a smart move. Like these are the types of fighters you need to get. The other stuff I literally could not care less about. It was just the whole, it's just, I get why Dana's so excited about it. It is a social media juggernaut. It is massive.
Without having someone you have some sort of emotional attachment to, with Paige Van Zandt, like the regular, just the crazy Hawaiian, I don't know, whatever. Those are just bum fights to me. Like, cool, I can rent those DVDs at a gas station, Yeah. But when you put someone that, I recognize that person. Yeah, cool, but don't. I don't even care about Power Slap. All I care about is that it's infected my UFC viewing. Like I've had to unfollow UFC accounts because dude, I don't want to see this. And I feel like even us as an MMA website, we're kind of on that little tipping point because now we do have Power Slap stuff on our radar now. So I'm like, but because there is an MMA sort of connection, so that's why. But if it was just a big knockout by some random person, we wouldn't put that on. Talk about it. So I love that ended in decision too. Like, What? There are decisions? I didn't know that. I thought someone had to
Yeah,
die. I thought that was the rules.
3 rounds. I'll tell you what my biggest takeaway from all of this was, outside of just the wackiness of it. And Dana saying that power slaps could be bigger than the UFC is
Oh God.
insanely silly. It's just not true.
Jeez.
And the reason why is that this will never do well on television. Like ESPN is not going to put this on their airwaves. This is not going to create revenue for television. They tried it on TV and nobody watched it. And they got AEW when they were actually putting big numbers out ratings wise to lead into it. And they were putting up awful numbers, like the worst for that time slot that they've had. So what they're doing now is perfect. Putting it on Rumble, social media clips galore. Like this is exactly what they should be doing. But here's my biggest takeaway of all of this. I kind of think Paige Van Zandt was made for this. I think she, outside of just the stuff she does outside of fighting, I think she will have more success doing this than anything else. From a wins and losses standpoint. I think she's kind of made for this. She's built for this weird sport. She's not a great boxer, as we've seen. Elle Brooke dropped her. That's not great. She's like a decent boxer, but like it's just not weird enough for her. I feel like she's at this point in her life where that stuff, the power slap, this is where she will shine the most. This is where the wins and losses, she'll have a better record doing this than anything else. I think she's made for it. I think she could become the face of it, much like, it's not exactly the same, but much like after the Game Bred bare knuckle MMA card a couple, sometime last year, I was like, dude, Randy Costa should be like the face of this organization right now. Like you need to just sign this guy to an exclusive deal, which they've done, which is brilliant. And just anytime Game Bred bare knuckle is mentioned, like you show Randy Costa and you have him do all the interviews and do all the talking. Like dude is polished. He's fun to watch. Dude's violent as hell. And same thing with power slap. Like don't talk about, oh, in India, we did 200 billion views. No, just have Paige Van Zandt out in every promo as the face of this organization. And if you do that, I think more people actually care, honestly.
They will, Karen. I kind of hate what you're saying, but you are kind of right.
I know, dude.
And hey, Paige Van Zandt could be the Mike Perry of slapping.
That's a great call. I think you might be right. God, I can't believe we're both right about this.
All right.
They got us. Smart move. Brilliant. Take nothing away from the move. It was savvy as fuck. Well done. And congrats to Paige. All right. Do you want to do bonus predictions? Now we get to pick 2 fights in the night.
Okay. Fight of the night. 2 fights. Okay. Go. 2 fights in the night will be Cub Swanson versus Andre Fili.
Ding.
And the other one will be, in a shocker, Andre Arlovski versus Martin Buday. Boom. Very doubtful.
I kind of still think they'll give it to Ortega and Lopez. So I'll go with that. But yes, Cub Swanson, Andre Fili. But that fight could end so quickly too.
Yeah, the problem it could just boom in too. But I just think that's gonna be just a good fun fight between 2 vets who, not in the title hunt, but we still just want to see him fight. And I love watching Cub. Cub's one of my favorite fighters. He's 40 years old. I'm happy he's still fighting at this level, getting tough fights. And Andre Fili's exciting, good dude. So I'm happy this fight's happening. I don't want anyone to lose, but that's what it is.
Performance bonuses.
This is giving away my pick, but knockout the night, Jiri Prochazka.
Wow.
And Joe Pyfer.
It's a good pick. I'm going Pereira, and I'm going Peyton Talbot. Even though he's a minus $1 billion, I think if he gets a good finish, they'll give him one.
UFC tends to do that. Even though the odds are completely crazy for him, if they're building you, they will give you that bonus because it's a stat that they like saying repeatedly. He goes, oh, he's a performance bonus winner. They walk out and everything. So I agree with that.
Minus 1,600 right now for young Peyton Talbot. Let's go to the main card predictions. Odds courtesy of our friends at DraftKings. Ian Machado Gary, the minus 166 favorite, takes on Michael Venom Page, who comes back at plus 140. I already gave my pick away. My pick is Ian Gary via decision in a solid fight, but not one we're going to go back and rewatch, but still like a decent, like a good chess matchy, high level fight that's just not going to be all that thrilling, if that makes sense.
I agree with everything you said, except the winner will be that Bellator washout, Michael Page.
I'm very fascinated by this fight. Let's go to the women's bantamweight division. You want to talk about lines that have swung in a big time direction. They've swung in the favor of Macy Chiasson, who, as about a week ago, was a plus 200 underdog. Now it's basically a pick 'em. Mayra Bueno Silva, the minus 112 favorite. The comeback on Macy Chiasson, minus 108. So basically, this is as close to a coin flip as you can get, Casey. Does Mayra Bueno Silva bounce back?
First of all, I do like this fight. I know people are kind of crapping on the women's bantamweight division, which there is a lot to crap on, but these are two talented women fighting, and they're very highly ranked. And Macy Chiasson did look good making 35. I know she's had problems making 35, but I still am going with Mayra Bueno Silva with the third round submission.
MBS submission, round one for me. Let's move on to the featured bout. The fight that began as Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree has now become Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze, and the middleweight Roman Dolidze jumping up to light heavyweight on short notice. The favorite here, minus 142. The comeback on Anthony Smith, plus 120. I'm going with Anthony Smith here. I also have a bet on Anthony Smith. I got Anthony Smith at plus 130. I'm going Anthony Smith by decision because Roman Dolidze is $2 stake tough.
I'm going to go by Jed Meshu's logic here and go Anthony Smith will, much like John Jones, defeat a middleweight at 205. And he will get a decision victory and may get a title shot, depending on how the main event goes.
He just may. Co-main event, Diego Lopez, the minus 148 favorite, takes on Brian Ortega. Lightweight fight, comes back at plus 124. I already gave it away. Brian Ortega. I have a bet on Brian Ortega. I got him at plus 130. I think he wins by decision, but I think this fight fucking rocks.
This fight will fucking rock, and Brian Ortega will win a competitive 30-27. It'll be competitive. The score, it will be 30-27, but I think every round is going to be really fun. But I'm going for, my heart's going for Diego, but I'm going Brian Ortega, though.
And then we go to the main event. Alex Pereira, the champion, minus 155. The comeback on your Prochazka, plus 130. You're picking Jiri. How does he do it?
Well, Alex is going to respect Jiri and not bring in any of the dark arts into the octagon. And so the playing field will be leveled, finally. And Jiri will throw something crazy. I don't know. Some spinning hook, crazy elbow upside down off the rafters, whatever. And he will win a second round knockout after getting his legs completely shattered and kicked apart for like 7 minutes. But Jiri don't believe in pain, so ain't no thing.
I mean, just go back and watch a Rakic fight. Rakic just kept kicking him in the legs, and he was basically on one leg, and he knocked his ass out. To quote Jed Meshu, Pereira's going to boop him again. I think Pereira can win this fight. Like, I think there is a world where if he fights with like a good game plan, he wins, maybe even gets Pereira out of there. I just think he's going to get kicked a whole bunch. He ain't going to like it. And then eventually he's going to go ham after landing a shot. And then Pereira's just going to land that friggin' monster. And he's just going to go down, man. Like, I don't know. There's just a vibe about Pereira that I just can't pick against him until I see him lose, even in circumstances like this. I'm going with Alex Pereira to get it done.
I'm on the Jiri vibe. But yeah, but you know what? This fight, honestly, you couldn't sell me. No, you can tell me anything. I'll be like, that sounds reasonable. I'm like, yeah, okay. Outside of maybe a Pereira submission, anything else pretty much is I'm game for.
Yeah, so I have some parlays. You'll see them in the watch party, but one you won't see in the watch party is I have Saruya, Pfeiffer, and Talbot inside the distance, pays at plus 144. Single bets, Pereira minus 130, main event under 1.5 plus 135, Ortega plus 130, Anthony Smith plus 120, Ian Gary minus 135. And I even have a little bet on Cubby Swanson at plus 210, which is crazy to me. I cannot believe he is that big of an underdog to Andre Fili. No disrespect to Andre Fili, because if he's on, man, dude is electric. But it just seems a little disrespectful to old Cubby Swanson. This fight's a lot closer than that. So, all right, fights are on. Enjoy, everybody. Watch party, 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Casey's actually going to be helping us out. He's got to have to do some a little production, a little button pushing for us, and we're gonna put his ass to the test with all these graphics and shit. So Casey, rest up, maybe take a little nap. I'm gonna load up my gear, and then I'm gonna head on over to Hotel Michoud, and that's where we're doing the watch party. 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Enjoy Jose Young's boots on the ground. Just stick with us, MAfighting.com. We will have you covered. Enjoy the fights, everybody. It's gonna be a good time. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye-bye.